Okay, everyone. So this is the Merseyside Challenge Cup Final between, on our left, Rainhill Victoria, and on our right, our Oxton Conservatives. Oxton Cons lost the toss, and Rainhill elected to go in first. So, Chris, round one. The song "The Night They Invented Champagne" appears in which musical film of 1958? Gigi is correct for 1 point. Jim, which sitting US president was defeated by F.D. Roosevelt in the 1932 presidential election?
Hoover?
Was that Stuart? Yes, that was Herbert Hoover for 1 point. Graham, which former poet laureate wrote The Borderers and Tintern Abbey? Wordsworth for 2 points. Stuart, Mickey Mantle is a famous player of which sport?
Baseball.
Baseball, that's 1 to number 1. And this is Andy. On which body of water are the ports of Eilat, Jeddah, and Mocha? The Red Sea is correct for 2 points. And Mike, what was the character Mitch Buchanan's job on TV in the 1990s?
Lifeguard.
He was, as played by David Hasselhoff, 2 points. Mark, "They shall not pass" was a phrase made famous in World War I in the French defence of where? Verdun for 2 points. And Peter, who was the first British monarch to visit the USA?
George V.
Not George V.
Sixth.
George VI, 1 to Graham. And that's the end of round one. In which Rainhill Victoria scored 8 and Oxton Cons scored 4. Round 2. Chris, of what type of suspension bridge are the Erskine, the Newer 7, and the Queen Elizabeth II at Dartford all types?
Cable stayed.
They are cable stayed for 2 points. Jim, which piece of music is subtitled "Pictures of Pagan Russia" in 2 parts?
Night on a Bare Mountain.
Not Night on a Bare Mountain.
Wilton Diptych.
It isn't the Wilton Diptych. No, anyone? The Rite of Spring is correct, yes. Graham, your own question. If Mercury used Atlas and Gemini used Titan, what was used by Apollo?
Saturn 5B.
Is correct. Saturn 5B.
They also use Saturn 1.
Well, I only had Saturn, so. Stuart, the statue of the character Hermione comes to life in which Shakespeare play?
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Not A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Winter's Tale.
A Winter's Tale is correct. Andy, which economist wrote, "In the long run, we are all dead"?
Maynard Keynes.
Maynard Keynes is correct for 1 point. And Mike, which European capital is the only city to have hosted the World Athletics Championships twice, in 1983 and 2005?
Paris.
Not Paris.
Helsinki.
Helsinki it was for 1 bonus point. Mark, who won the Grammy Award for Album of the Year in 2014 with Random Access Memories? Not Taylor Swift.
Daft Punk.
Daft Punk for 1 bonus point to Jim. And Peter, which leader called himself Brother Number One? Pol Pot it was for 1 bonus point. End of round 2. In which Rainhill scored 7, making 15, and Oxton scored 2, making 6. 15-6. Round 3. Chris, in electronic engineering, name either logic gate that is represented by a symbol resembling a capital letter D.
NAND.
A NAND gate will do. Yes, you could have an AND gate as well. Jim, Lahore is the capital of which Pakistani province?
Punjab.
Punjab for 2 points. Graham, in which US state was the Ku Klux Klan formed in 1866?
Georgia.
Not Georgia.
Tennessee.
Tennessee it was for 1 bonus point. Stuart, whose relationship with former US Olympic skiing champion Lindsey Vonn ended in May 2015? Tiger Woods for 1 bonus point. Andy, the 1153 Treaty of Wallingford ensured the succession of which English king? Henry II for 2 points. And Mike, which British singer-songwriter was born Florian Cloud de Boinville O'Malley Armstrong? Not Ivan Novello. Dido for 1 bonus point. And Mark, your question. Which author featured the character Nick Adams in many short stories which were often based on his own experiences?
Scott Fitzgerald.
Not Scott Fitzgerald.
Hemingway.
Hemingway it was, Stuart, for 1 bonus point. And Peter, which track cycling event shares its name with a US state capital?
Madison.
Madison is correct for 2 points. End of round 3. In which Rainhill scored 5, making 20, and Oxton Con scored 7, making 13. 20-13. Round 4. Chris. When inaugurated in 1975, the Cricket World Cup consisted of matches of how many overs per side? Not 55.
60.
60, yes, days were longer in those days. And Jim, in music, how many semitones are there in an octave?
32.
Not 32.
12.
12 to 1, 1 bonus to Mark.
4.
Graham, which artist was shot and wounded by Valerie Solanas in 1967?
Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol for 2 points. Stuart, the alloy electrum is a naturally occurring alloy primarily consisting of 2 metals. Name 1. Gold, yes, or silver you could have had as well. Andy, which contemporary US actor has played the director of the CIA, the US president, and God twice?
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman for 2 points. Mike, apart from the UK and its empire and Commonwealth, which other country had a king called George during World War II?
Greece.
Greece it was for 1 bonus point. Mark, in the Peanuts strip cartoons, what was the name of the character regularly seen playing a piano? Schroeder is correct for 2 points. And Peter, for what is sternutation the medical term?
Sneezing.
Sneezing it is for 2 points. End of round 4. In which Rainhill scored 7, making 27, and Oxton scored 6, making 19. Okay, round 5. Jim, the song If I Were a Bell appears in which musical filmed in 1955?
Team, guys and dolls.
I'm afraid it was correct, but after the call, so 1 point to Jim. And Chris, which candidate in the 1948 US presidential election was mistakenly declared the winner by the Chicago Tribune? Dewey is correct. 2 points. And Stuart, which novel won the Man Booker Prize in 2014?
The Long Road North.
Not The Long Road North.
The Narrow Road to the Far North.
Not The Narrow Road to the Far North, The Narrow Road to the Deep North. And Graham, your question. Which test match venue is sometimes referred to by locals as the G?
The Gamble.
Not the Gabba. Oxton, anyone? No, it's the Melbourne Cricket Ground, yes, the MCG. And Mike, in which body of water is the Levantine Basin? Levantine, Levantine Basin.
Mediterranean.
He is correct for 2 points. And Andy, according to Bud Flanagan's theme song for the much repeated situation comedy Dad's Army, at what time did Mr. Brown go off to town each day?
8:21.
On the 8:21 is correct. And Peter, whose forces were victorious at the Battle of Stirling Bridge in 1297?
William Wallace.
He is correct for 1 bonus point. And Mark, which English king allegedly found shelter from the Danes in the Somerset Levels? Alfred is correct for 1 bonus point. End of round 5. In which Rainhill scored 5, making 32, and Oxton scored 4, making 23. Round 6. Jim, in 1990, which was the first British city to be European Capital of Culture?
Glasgow.
Glasgow it was for 2 points. Chris, Mussorgsky's Pictures at an Exhibition became better known due to a famous 1922 orchestration by which non-Russian? Ravel for 1 bonus point. Stuart, what was the primary task of the Thames vessel Havengor on the 30th of January 1965?
Conveying Churchill's coffin.
He is correct, well done, conveying Churchill's coffin. Okay, just hearing a little bit from the audience, folks, if you just kind of keep it down, thank you. And Graham, what is the name of the title character in Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice?
Angelo.
Not Angelo.
Antonio.
Antonio to 1 to Jim. And Mike, who voluntarily declined to accept the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1964? Sartre it was, for 2 points. And Andy, in which European capital city will the 2017 World Athletics Championships be held?
London.
They'll be held in London. Yes, 1 bonus point. For Graham, yes, sorry. And Peter, who had a UK #1 hit song in 2013 with the song Roar?
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry for 2 points. And Mark, at the 2015 general election, why was the MP for Buckingham returned unopposed by any of the major parties?
Because he's the speaker.
Correct, it is the Speaker's seat, John Walker. And of round 6. In which Rainhill scored 4, making 36, and Oxton scored 9, making 32. So it is 36-32. Round 7. Jim, for what does the L stand in the name of the electrical safety device and ELCB?
Local.
Not local.
Leakage.
Leakage is correct. Earth leakage circuit breaker. Your own question, Chris. Which is the northernmost province of South Africa and shares its name with a river?
Limpopo.
Limpopo for 1 point to Graham. And Stuart. In which US state is Harper's Ferry, the site of the 1859 raid by John Brown?
Virginia.
Incorrect.
Pennsylvania.
No, it's West Virginia, which I think is a different state. Yes, sorry. Sorry, Jim. Graham. Princess Charlotte of Wales was born in the Lindo wing of which hospital in May 2015?
St Mary's Paddington.
St Mary's is correct. Mike. First appointed by Cromwell in 1655. What title was given to those who ruled with almost absolute power over one of 12 military districts?
Major Generals.
They were the Major Generals, is correct. Andy, which singer has featured guitarists Mick Ronson, Earl Slick and Peter Frampton on his albums at different times in his career?
David Bowie.
David Bowie is correct for 1 point to Mark. And Peter, which 20th century US author was depicted by Gregory Peck in the 1959 film Beloved Infidel?
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
F. Scott Fitzgerald for 1 point to Jim. And Mark, who in 1988 was the only tennis player to have won the so-called Golden Grand Slam? Steffi Graf, yes, it's the 4 majors and the Olympic title in the same year. And round 7. In which Rainhill scored 7, making 43, and Oxton 2, making 34. 43-34. Round 8. Jim, in which year did the Winter and Summer Olympic Games last take place in the same year?
84.
Not 84.
92.
92 it was. 1, 2, Andy. Chris, which 6-letter word is used colloquially at some universities, but especially at Oxford, for the undergraduate course in classical Greek and Roman history, literature and philosophy?
Tripos.
Not tripos.
Greats.
Greats is correct. 1, 2, Peter. Stuart, which singer was shot and fatally wounded by his father in 1984? Marvin Gaye for 2 points. And Graham, rose gold is an alloy of gold, and which other metal?
Copper.
Copper is correct for 2 points. Mike, which Tom Hanks film of 1994 won 6 Oscars, including Best Film?
Philadelphia.
Not Philadelphia.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump was one to Chris. And Andy, the present Norwegian king, Harald V, succeeded his father in 1991. What was his name?
Olaf. Olaf.
Olaf as well. Was that before? It was before, yes. So 2 points. Well done, Andy.
9.9.
And Peter, in the Bill Watterson cartoon strip about a boy and his toy tiger, what is the name of the tiger? Hobbs it is. Calvin and Hobbes is the strip. And Mark, for what is cutis anserine or horripilation the medical term?
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps or goose pimples is correct. And round 8, in which Rainhill scored 8, making 51, and Oxton 4, making 38.